Hello, ladies. Welcome to week 8, I believe. So I just wanted to touch base for those of you that I have not seen in person today. We talked about a lot about the MyFitnessPal issues in tracking our food. So I just want to reiterate a couple things. When we signed up for this 12-week session, you hired me to hold you accountable and help you reach your goals. So I want nothing more than to help you reach those goals. And I want everyone to be successful with these programs. And I know that each and every one of you can do it. So I need you to help me help you by tracking your food. Some of the issues and the feedback that I received were a couple of things. So the biggest one is going to be time. And I understand that your time is as valuable as my time, and any free seconds that we get, we have different things that we prefer and prioritize to do with those time. And it's hit and miss when we do have that free second. So with MyFitnessPal, I have done quite a bit of research to find the best option to help you and the easiest user-friendly option for you to be able to track your food. At first, we were writing it down on paper and then turning it in on a weekly basis, and that just seemed to be way worse because even though you were writing it down, you didn't know your calorie counts. You didn't know how many calories you were consuming throughout the day. So I researched different apps. I've used different apps, and MyFitnessPal is by far the easiest, most user-friendly one that I have found. So if you have another suggestion, feel free to bring it to me. But that is, when we signed up, was one of the things that I asked of you is to download MyFitnessPal, get used to using it, and that's how I was going to keep up with you outside of the gym. So time. At this point, coming into week 8, we should all be familiar enough with MyFitnessPal that we should be able to go in and that we should be able to input our food on the daily basis quickly. It should not be taking you more than 5 minutes to input your food, even if you wait and do it at the end of the day instead of after every meal, which you can do that. You don't have to do it after every meal. You can write it down throughout the day and input it at night. That's perfectly fine. But it shouldn't be taking us longer. Like, we should all be familiar enough with MyFitnessPal at this point that it should be a pretty quick process. So it shouldn't be taking us long. So if it is taking you that long, then my guess is, number one, we haven't been tracking consistently, which is obvious just going through the MyFitnessPal accounts. So when you're not familiar with something, it's going to take you longer to do it with anything. And with MyFitnessPal, the more you use it, the easier it's going to get, the more familiar you're going to get. That also relays back to meal prep. If we're meal prepping our food, it should be fairly easy for us to be keeping track in MyFitnessPal. For instance, for lunch, I always have 4 ounces of ground chicken or baked chicken. I always have, depending on my carbohydrates for the day, I have a 1/4 cup of brown rice. I have 1 cup of the coleslaw mix, and I have a 1/2 teaspoon of the curry mustard that I use. So every day that should be in there, and that should be fairly quick for me to put in because that meal is already made up for me and ready to go. I can input it. So meal prep is going to make it easier for MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is going to make it easier for my meal prep. So again, those go hand in hand. So it shouldn't be taking a lot of time to be inputting the food into MyFitnessPal. It should not be taking you that much time, especially at this point in week 8. Another one was guilt. So the guilt and me asking, is it guilt from me or is it guilt for your own self? Like you feeling your own guilt. And the feedback on that was it's just you're feeling guilty for eating it. I've never chastised anybody for what they're eating or having a cupcake. We are all adults here. We are all signed up for a 12-week program. If you choose to have a cupcake, you can have a cupcake. If you choose to have ice cream every day, that's your choice. There's nothing I can do about that. But you have to realize that you're making these choices. I will never chastise you for doing those. But if you come to me at the end of 12 weeks and say, Jen, I didn't lose any weight. I didn't lose any inches. I'm not happy with this. Your programs don't work. My first is going to be, are you consistently making your workouts? So we'll double check that. Second, I'm going to say, are you consistently tracking your food? We'll double check that. If you are consistently tracking your food, then we'll go through those food logs and look at what things that we're eating and inputting, as obviously as long as you're inputting them honestly. And then we'll figure out what in your diet is not working for you. That's why we're not being successful in the program. But I don't feel like I will ever make you feel guilty about your food choices. So if you're feeling self-guilt, I don't always think that's a bad thing. It means you're conscious and you're aware of what you're putting in your body. Another way, to visualize it is to have it in front of you, to have it either on a piece of paper or in MyFitnessPal, and to say, oh shit, well, I had pancakes for breakfast or French toast and syrup. Oh yeah, and then I had a bite-sized piece of candy as a snack there. And then, at lunch I had French fries. And then I had this in the afternoon. And then for dinner I had pizza. So when we're looking at it, we're visualizing it, we're seeing it with our own eyes, then it kind of sets in like, oh, well, crap, like this might be part of my problem. So visualizing it, okay? Also, remember, if you did have a cupcake, for example, just because you're not putting it in MyFitnessPal doesn't mean it didn't happen. And it doesn't mean it's not going to affect your overall goals. Like, it's still going to happen. You've still consumed it. It's already in your body. So at this point, you might as well track it. Because just because it's not written down or not because it's not in MyFitnessPal doesn't make it not happen. It didn't disappear. It's already there. It's done. It's over with. You might as well input it. Again, visualization, seeing it. Laziness, unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do to help you there. We're all lazy a little bit. We all have a little bit of time that we just want to do nothing. I understand, trust me. But I can only do so much. I work with you an hour, 5 days a week, every day. Outside of the gym, I need certain things from you so that I can help you reach these goals, so that I can help you lose weight, or I can help you build muscle. So these are some of the things. Tracking your food is really the only thing outside of our group sessions that I ask you to show up and do for me. And I just really, really need you to do your part outside of the gym so that I can effectively help you in the gym and even out of the gym. But I can't do that if I don't know what's going on outside of the gym. And let's be honest, majority of our problems don't come from getting in the gym and working out, because you guys are showing up. You're kicking ass. You're coming to the workouts. You're doing awesome. So the problem and the issue doesn't come from completing a workout. 90% of our issues are going to become from nutrition. So if we're pretending it's not happening, or we're not writing it down, or we're not being aware of the things we're putting in our mouth and that we're consuming, eating, drinking, then that's where the problem lies. My problem personally is the nutrition aspect of it. It's not the workouts. I can go in and I can demolish a workout. But what happens outside of that hour every day is the things that I need to control. And if I'm not taking control of writing it down, inputting it, and tracking it, then I'm not taking full control of my nutrition. So you really, 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 I know I harp on it, and I apologize to be a broken record or to feel like I'm up your ass about it. I apologize for that. But it's very, very, very important that you track your food. And that is the one biggest thing that I need you to do for me outside of the gym. Again, I can help you and control you in the gym. If I don't know what's going on outside of the gym and what you're consuming, it ties my hands. I don't have a lot that I can offer you if I don't know what's going on. There's also one thing about social media, and they're trying to decrease your time on your phone or decrease time on social media, and I completely understand that as well. That's me. I think it's a lot of people's issue, especially parents. Like, we're all trying to give our full attention to our children and not be distracted. So my recommendation for that is, again, wait until the kids go to bed, or wait until you take the phone to the bathroom with you real quick while you can input something. But it shouldn't take long enough for you to input those things on MyFitnessPal that we're taking time away from your family. And MyFitnessPal is user-friendly because if you go out to eat, generally you can type in, for instance, one of one of our ladies today made the example of, we went to PF Chang's. So all I had to type in was PF Chang's, and their whole menu came up. So Applebee's has their whole menu on there. Panera Bread has their whole menu on there. Subway has their whole menu on there. So most of the places, if you're going out to eat, there's a whole menu on there. Stagecoach, not going to have it on there. So if you show up to Stagecoach and you have a cheeseburger and french fry basket, probably not going to have Stagecoach. But can you type in a cheeseburger? Yes, and you can find it. Can you type in french fries? Yes, and you can find it. So the whole goal is not to be like, oh, well, she had a cupcake, or she had a brownie, or she had candy today, or she had ice cream. My goal for you is to start being consistent with your MyFitnessPal and tracking your food. That way, when you go somewhere, like, it's kind of like a game. You should be seeing numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be so familiar with food and what their usual calorie count is in them that you're just going to know. So, for example, I went to a baby shower on Saturday for my nephew, and they had a taco bar. I know at this point that a serving size of tortillas is usually about, tortilla chips is 9 chips. So I know that going in there because I've been consistently tracking it the whole time. And I know that 4 ounces of ground chicken or ground beef is right around 150 calories for about 4 ounces. So usually 1 scoop of ground beef taco meat at the party, I'm going to overestimate about a half a cup. But again, like, if I know what a half cup looks like because I'm doing it all the time, I have a better understanding when I go somewhere. If I know what a quarter cup usually looks like of something when I'm out and I don't have the quarter cup measurement with me, I'm getting familiar with it. I should know what these things look like. So ultimately, the more we're tracking is going to benefit you when you're out and you don't have those calorie counts in front of you. You'll know. Like, it's a repetitive thing. It's like anything else. Like, the more you do it, the more you learn. The more you learn about it, the more you just know. It's like subconsciously coming to you. That's my goal, is I want you to be able to see these things because you're so used to tracking them that it's not a guesstimate. It's not I have no idea what that is. But what makes MyFitnessPal nice is that, like, for instance, we're going to see my grandma tonight, and we're probably going to take my mom out to dinner afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to input right now when I get home. I have a few minutes, and I'm going to input what I'm going to eat for breakfast. I'm going to input what I'm going to have for a snack today. I'm going to input what I'm eating for lunch today and my protein shake this afternoon. That way I know how many calories I have left over for dinner. I know how many carbohydrates, how many protein, and how many fats I have left for me at dinner, which is going to make my decision for dinner of what I'm going to have. Like, am I going to have that biscuit with dinner? I don't know where we're going at, but, am I going to be able to have that extra piece of cheese? I'm going to know what my calorie count is on my way to dinner. So I always put things in advance, especially when I know something like that is happening. I try not to take up a lot of time, I know. But nutrition is most of our problem, which means it's even more important for us to track our food on the daily. Again, just because we're not tracking on the weekends doesn't mean it doesn't happen. You can demolish a whole entire workout week because of not tracking on the weekend. And last, you can't out-train a bad diet. So you might be showing up for your workouts consistently 5 days a week and working your ass off with me. But if we're not controlling our nutrition, you're not going to reach your goals. It's life. It sucks. I'm sorry. Especially the older we get. I know things are different for me. I can't have that glass of wine a couple nights a week. It doesn't work that way anymore. I can't work off that sugar or that candy bar that I had. Doesn't work for me like that anymore. But that's just part of life. So we have to prioritize what we want. And when we signed up for this program, I really required and want you to learn how to track your food. And that's going to be a skill that I want to educate you on to be able to live life outside of the gym and in the time that you move on from working with me. Those are going to be things that I want to educate you on and share my knowledge with you about those, because that's going to help you the long run for the rest of your life, to be able to track your calories and to know how much you're eating and what you're eating. And last thing, so this, I made a little diagram. So with your fitness goals, whether it's lose weight, build muscle, it all goes full circle, right? It all goes full circle. You can't have one without the other, right? You can't just be good here and here, but not here, okay? So it all goes full circle. So consistent workouts. We know that. That's why we started doing workouts and offering 5 days a week, because we need you to be consistent. I need you to be consistent. I need you in the gym more often. So therefore, I'm going to offer more opportunities for you to be in the gym more often. Okay, consistent workouts, right? Consistent workouts goes to, what do I have on there? Meal prep. Okay, we have to have meal prep. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it takes time on Sundays, but I guarantee you are going to be so thankful you did it throughout the rest of the week, because it's going to create less headaches, less problems, less guessing from you, less rushing around at the last minute. Okay? Meal prep, which goes into tracking your food. Okay, I touched on this earlier. I don't think I need to do it again, but it goes full circle. Consistent workouts, meal prep, tracking your food. Consistent workouts, meal prep, tracking your food. Okay, that's all. Just MyFitnessPal, very important. You're showing up for your workouts. I want you to succeed. I promise. This is coming from a good place in my heart, because I care about each and every one of you so much that I want you to be successful in anything. And I want you to succeed for any of the goals that you've set when you started, when you came to me. Okay, so let's think about your goals for the end of 10 weeks. Really think about those and what you're implementing in your life currently to help you reach those goals. And I want to help you. So I'm trying to come up with the best options and the most easiest and convenient options for you. So I just need you to help me get there. Okay, I need you to track your food. I need you to track everything and be consistent with it, so that I can help you outside of just the workouts that I'm working one-on-one with you at the gym. Okay, that's all. Help me help you. We can do this. Okay? It's going to benefit you all the way down the road. Okay? I promise. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You always have access to me. Thanks, ladies. Have a good day.